Oh my goodness gracious, it is happening. Bioshock is coming back. What's going on, everybody? It's Ghost Robo, and yeah, we all knew that eventually, inevitably, this famed franchise would return. But on this fine Friday the 13th, to get this news, ooh, it's so sweet. If you know me, you know I love 13. It's my favorite number. I turned 13 on Friday the 13th. Good stuff always seems to happen to me on these fateful days. And this is one of the goodest things that could have happened, in the form of Jason Schreier descending upon Twitter and saying, hey, he was working on an article for Kotaku, as that's where he resides, about Hangar 13, the great little studio up there that made Mafia 3. Now, I think they did a fine job and have potential to do even better next time around, but it sounds like they're struggling with what to do. Mafia 4, some spy game, there's a lot of confusion and uncertainty over there, and Schreier is reporting on that. But it was his follow-up tweet that really grabbed me and whipped me around and threw me up and caught me and then made me smile. And that's this right here. Among other details I learned while reporting this story, Schreier says that right next to Hangar 13, a top secret 2K studio is working on a top secret new Bioshock game. Yes! Now, it's probably a ways off. Now, it doesn't have Ken Levine or Irrational attached to it. Now, it's Bioshock. This is probably my favorite franchise in anything. And it's weird for me to say that thinking about Lost and Mario and The Office and Disney, but Bioshock, it does something so unique and so special and so magical that I have infinite excitement when it comes to anything new regarding the property. And even though there's not a whole lot of detail whatsoever, I wanted to weigh in and give you my take, because I think this is very good news, and I fully expected this. I was kind of waiting on someone to say something, and here we go. It's not official confirmation, but I think Schreier is respected enough, he brings enough scoops to the table, he is reliable enough that we can trust this is happening. I mean, it only makes sense, and it's crazy because I've been in this space. I've been to Hangar 13. I have been to their studio up there in Novato, California. It's a glorious building, and I've been to the buildings next door. I have probably set foot in the room where they are building the next Big Daddy, which is insane, and I don't know anything about it. I wish that I did, and I hope that eventually I do, but I wonder where it goes from here. Now, do they take this in a whole new, brand spanking new direction, a la some of the games we've seen recently? Look at how Zelda reinvented itself with Breath of the Wild. Look how God of War is reinventing itself with God of War, and the review scores for that just came out, and apparently it's incredibly successful to the tens. Now, would Bioshock do something of that nature, or would they rather just expand and offer another locale, another city, another crazed man, and another opportunity to dive deep into powers and characters and plot? Personally, I hope for the latter rather than the former. Even in 2018, or when this game releases 2019, 2020, I think there is so much room for a game like Bioshock to execute and just really enrapture a whole new era of players, as well as those that are fans of the franchise from before. I don't think we need to go crazy or open world or something insanely different, because so much of what makes Bioshock so good is that linearity and that ability to tell a story from a very privileged perspective that allows the developers to dictate exactly what they want the player to see and not see, to know and to not know. And I like that, and I embrace that. In fact, some of the things that God of War is doing with this God of War are to make it more like Bioshock, and so the other way around would be odd. Where does it take place? Underground is what I have thought for a long time. It seems to be the only frontier that they could do that is in the same vein and maybe offers a completely different potential. But is that too similar to something like Fallout or Metro? Maybe they go to space. I think space has been overdone a ton, but if you were able to modify it with something future-y, maybe it could work well. We have obviously seen Rapture be this 1950s take on an underwater city. We then go to Colombia and its Americana floating high above. Where do they go from here? It would seem only apt that they advance the timeline and give us something set a little bit later with a whole different locale. My only concern here is that they decide to return to Rapture or Colombia. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't play the game. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't be hyped for it. No, I'm not saying it wouldn't climb to the top of my most anticipated list, but I would be very, very bummed if they were to return, reuse, and re-engage with a previously explored territory. Bioshock 2 was really good. I think that game is very underrated, and I really enjoyed playing it. It has a lot to offer, and it brings some really cool aspects to the franchise. But too much time has passed, and we've already seen Rapture and Columbia look great in the form of the remastered collection, I don't think we need to go back. But it is very exciting to consider what from those games could they take in the forms of Big Daddies from Bioshock and Bioshock 2. Maybe another partner character like Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite. What do they do power-wise, and how do they reinvent that wheel while making it feel similar and familiar? I think that's the biggest thing here with Bioshock, is how do you make it feel familiar while also bringing new aspects and new elements? And hopefully this studio that they put together, hopefully this top secret team, is a star-studded one that can bring a fresh perspective while also really cherishing and acknowledging the aspects and elements that made Bioshock so amazing. Because I don't even want to say it, but the dark side of this is, what if they somehow deliver a game that changes how I feel about the franchise? Because right now, everything that has happened with the name Bioshock has been beautiful to me. The DLCs, the games, the collector's editions, the remastered, it has all been up to par and then some. So there's a slight nervousness of a brand new team without the design guidance of Ken Levine doing this. But what do you think it could be? Where do you think they go? And how will they up the ante to make this Bioshock the best Bioshock yet? Or at least one that seems all that exciting in an era with really awesome games and really exciting new experiences. They have the pedigree in the game. They have the good stuff, the design stuff, the gameplay stuff, the mechanic stuff in the game. They now just need to extract it all out and place it into a slightly new framework to deliver a fresh eyes experience with a fun and Bioshock-derived feel. Now, will we hear anything or see anything at E3 2018? We're about 60 days away from the big show, and I would love nothing more than a little taste from Take-Two and 2K of Bioshock Next. But fortunately, I feel like if this is just being talked about, maybe it's really out there in terms of the timetables and in terms of the years. But hey, fingers crossed, anything can happen. Let me know your take in the comments down below. Are you pumped for the near official confirmation of a new Bioshock? Where do you think they can go? What do you think they can do? And what do you hope for out of a brand new game in this fantastic franchise? I wish all the best to Hangar 13. I'm actually really excited for whatever they do next, and hopefully they can figure that out soon. I can't lie though. Instantly, this Bioshock thing jumps to the top of every list of all my excitement, of all my enthusiasm, of all my anticipation when it comes to movies, music, books, TV shows, and games. It's Bioshock. It's number one, and I cannot wait to hear more. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. This has made my weekend. Hopefully, it makes yours a little better as well. Drink some much chocolate, and until next time, I love you, and we'll see you all later.